The case of Drippy Booty Bouncing Master 67. Where are they?
Where did they go?
And who are they?
Well, you might be wondering who we are. Well, we've covered multiple cases.
I guess you could say we're somewhat of detectives, in a way.
Investigators. I see you have Investigator McMinn and Detective Simpson.
We've solved multiple cases, like the case of Kobe's missing tooth. This case took place a long time ago. A friend of ours, but I don't know if you could call him a friend, lost a tooth. And he refused to acknowledge the fact that we knew he did not have a tooth.
It all started one Saturday evening on a video call. You know, you'd think that if you had a missing tooth, you'd be a little bit more cautious on video calls, to not expose the fact that it's gone missing. But this specific little friend of ours, he didn't try whatsoever.
Once again, not a friend, Lily. But anyways, Kobe, that little guy, little rascal, if you would say, he didn't stop. He went as far as to put a ramen noodle in between his two front teeth, in between the missing tooth.
Now, Nevaeh, you just can't quite forget, he didn't have two front teeth anymore. As you can see, when we spotted a new video of him at his new school, thinking that he was not suspicious anymore and out of our case, we saw the missing front tooth.
He was smiling, a little smirk, if you will. We texted him, "Get that damn smirk off your face. Nobody wants to see a missing tooth. Where is your two front teeth, Kobe?" All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth. My two front teeth. My two front teeth.
Okay, that's enough of the case of Kobe's missing tooth. The next important one that followed at my own birthday party is the unsolved mystery of the underwear.
You see, it was a normal day at Lily's birthday party when, think you can get the hint now? Underwear found on the bed. Pink and blue with seahorses on it. Children's underwear. Size 6. Of course, we were investigating our little friends, but they didn't want to admit it, didn't they, Lily?
No one would ever admit to leaving their own underwear on my bedroom floor.
To this day, this case remains unsolved. We're not going to go into detail about it because I know that these girls would be upset if we outed them for the underwear.
And our suspicions that to this day are in our heads.
Lily, I think it was me.
What? Wait, that.
Now, who is Drippy Booty Bouncing Master 67?
Well, if you ask me, they seem to be known as an underground SoundCloud rapper with 2 songs released. They created a big wave at the school of East Hip Middle.
Wait.
Don't know.
I recognize that school. Don't they have plumbing that tastes like sewage water? Maybe?
Tastes?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say smells.
No, it tastes as though we're sewage water too. I've tasted it firsthand. Anyways, silly old me. Drippy Booty Bouncing Master, they were popular at East Hip. Very popular. They made a big wave among the students.
Not a single student that attends East Hip Middle doesn't know who they are, but the identities are unknown.
Now, you may be wondering, how could everyone at East Tip Middle School be obsessed with two people they don't know? Well, that brings us to our next topic, the rise and fall of, what does that say? 2 songs. 2 songs released. Only 2. Interesting number.
Well, you see, the first song, it was quite a hit. The second song went even better. So, our question now, why did they feel the need to disappear off the face of planet Earth?
Well, let's get into this. The first song, 6 a.m. and Nobby Knees remix. In order to understand the reason that these 2 beautiful songwriters left the face of the earth, we have to understand the song. Take it away, Lily.
Well, as you can see, the first lyric says, "Wake up at 6 in the morning." Now, my question, who on earth is forcing them to wake up this early in the morning? That's insane, right, Nevaeh?
Yes, being forced to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning? What are they thinking? Now, second lyric. Miss Wynn makes us run laps. Who is Miss Wynn? Well, we have an answer for you. Miss Wynn is the person holding them captive. Ba, ba, ba.
Well, the rest of the song just describes the pair's everyday lives, but with a sort of sinister twist. You can realize the true meaning of the song during the remix, Nobby Knees interlude. Now, the suspicious thing about this part is that Mrs. Wynn must have tied up the 2 people and given them knobby knees.
Now, you may be wondering what knobby knees is, but in the song, they included an image that depicts someone with knees that are kind of twisted in. I don't completely know the origin of this running joke they seem to have, but
You know, the people that are infected with knobby knees, normally they use it as an advantage during gym class. Perhaps even handball.
yes, I've heard of that happening too, Lily. I've heard that they can use their knobby knees to catch the ball, but I've never seen it in person, so I'm not sure how it works.
In this coincidence, I think that their knobby knees must be a punishment.
Next, the second song, The End. Drippy's so-called villain arc is happening. They diss every single last person that attends East Tip Middle.
How could they have done this? Why? And why is this the end? Let's decode their song real quick. First off, the features.
Everyone in the song except me, Brom.
Who
What
is
on earth?
that? Well, you heard his name, folks. Brom. Now you may be wondering, who on earth is Brom? That's
And
a feature.
Why would his parents name him Brom? But that's against the point.
Yes, we are trying to figure out what is his code name. I think it is Bray Bray. And if you decode the other names, when they say the lyrics, Hudson still has them pants that is so tight. Now, after that, you hear a little voice that goes, hey! Now, if I were to be correct, that must be Hoo-Hoo, Hudson Allen. Now, I can't decode who everyone else is because I'm not sure that they attend East Tip Middle School. But
There
maybe
is
in our
one
next-
thing that we did decode. There is some hidden message near the end of the song. They say, and I quote, "You want to know who we are? Ask Asher. He know it so well." What does this mean? Who is Asher Moreland, and why is he mentioned?
Wait, Lily, you're saying too much. We'll get to that later. Third, the outro. Don't jump us! Did Drippy somehow predict their future?
And could Asher Moreland be the one that happened to jump them?
In the outro of the song, it depicts a bad relationship with the two authors and a boy named Asher Moreland. Now, we're not sure who this is, but if I were to say, I think that is Drippy's number one enemy. I think he'll be important to remember later, so keep an eye out.
Now, the Disappearance. So, they just haven't posted in months. They've obviously been stopped by themselves or something or someone. They also deleted their stupid school diss track off the planet of Earth. Why did they do this? Did they really get jumped into deleting their video? Or did their school counselor, Mrs. Rice, stop them herself? Or was it something worse than we could ever have imagined? Let's not get into that.
The investigation. We went digging, as any good detectives would do, and what we found... what we found was horrific. It all starts with a recent post on Drippy's YouTube account. It reads, "We haven't been in a good place. New song. It's a new song is dropping soon. We're excited to share it."
But there was just something eerie about this exact post. Nevaeh, tell him the code we found.
Now, there's certain letters that are capitalized, and if you take it, it's kind of like a code. It reads out, "Help us." Now, why would DrippyBootyBouncinMaster67 need help? What's happening to them? Well, this brings us to what happens if you click see more on the post.
So, when we were looking at their new post, we noticed that they had some strange periods, but it said that we could press show more, so we decided to be a little bit nosy and press it. Now, the link that was shared in this post delivered us to an address at something called the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. You heard it. They're in the loony bin.
That brings us to our next topic. The loony bin!
Fortunately, we were able to recover a lost piece of footage from a Drippy song. We'll share this audio with you now.
And is that Alex coming? 'Cause I see him right there. Get out. Help us. Help us. No. Girl, how did you get out of the padded room? Get back in there now. I want to go to the padded room.
Now, at first listen, you just can't quite tell what's happening between the two, but it's obviously not good at all. What we found next will absolutely shock you.
The search history.
What we found in here, we'll tell you just now.
What does it mean to be loony?
How to make a song in the loony bin.
Who's Big John?
Why do they take off your clothes in the loony bin?
Is that Alex Spillman in the loony bin, or is it just a hallucination?
How long do you have to stay in the loony bin?
All these things in Drippy's search history. As we can see, they had a lively time in the loony bin.
That covers where they disappeared to. But now we have another question. Why are they in the loony bin?
Until now, this mystery remains unsolved.
Tune in for our next episode, Decoding the Drippy Songs, where we dive deeper into the hidden lyrics and mysteries of their songs.
Perhaps we can find the hidden loony message as the reason they are in the padded room. Until then, peace out, Drip fans!